Craig here, Caravans by the Campfire. We've come 1,500 kilometres just to test out a new GVM upgrade. So in this episode, we're just going to show you what we've done to this 200 series Land Cruiser and why now we can tow our 3.5 tonne Caravan and put a boat on the roof and take all of Tracy's shoes. So hang around and we'll tell you in this episode. Should better tow 3 horses with this, mate, I reckon. That's the real deal, mate.
So, wow, yeah, the local neighbours are a bit noisy.
That's a flyover just for us, mate.
Organise it all the time.
So the GVM upgrade,
Yep.
So still, despite what it is, the brake towing capacity remains the same.
Correct.
So that's 3.5 tonnes.
Yep.
The car now, instead of 3.3
Yep.
GVM,
Yes.
it's now 4.2.
Correct.
Now a lot of people ask,
Yep.
so the combined towing mass,
Yes.
that increases, but it doesn't mean I can tow anything heavier.
Correct, that's right. So the GCM does
Yep.
go up,
Yep.
but it doesn't mean that you can tow more.
Yeah, so if I can
Yep.
fit everything on and then load up the car,
Yep.
that's where I get the benefit.
Correct, that's right.
Okay. You're the only mob that I've spoken to who've taken time to give us a quote and be very professional about it.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for 25 years, so
Yeah.
that's and lots of advance over the time.
Yeah. Everyone else I've spoke to, they were nice on the phone, but I never got off the phone or at a show feeling like they knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, righty, eh?
Like to convince me that everything was going to be under control, and when I picked it up, it was going to be the real deal.
Yep.
So that's why we're here.
That's right.
Okay, if you're out there looking for a GVM upgrade, first thing is, if you haven't bought your car yet, get that done first, because it's much easier and there are some greater flexibility in what you can actually do. But if you're like us and you have your vehicle and you're looking around, we've got ours weighed, you remember that? We were way over.
The car weighs 3534,
Ooh,
which is 230 kilos
Ooh.
over its capacity.
great.
The rear axle is sitting at 2186,
Ooh,
which its standard axle is 1950, so we're looking at about 230 kilos over that capacity there. So really good.
that's epic.
It is.
So we've had to spend all this time reviewing and researching to come up with the right thing. Now, the number one thing is that you want to be safe and you want to be able to tow your van at its maximum capacity. You also want to be able to fill up your car with fuel to the limit, put everything in the back, take your wife and kids with you, or take your family with you, and know that you're driving down the highway and everything's under control. A couple of things you've got to know. All these terms, GVM, GCM, ATM, tear, curb weight, whatever, just get your head around those. GVM, gross vehicle mass, right? That's the maximum your car can weigh on the road, fully loaded. ATM, aggregate trailer mass, is the maximum your van can weigh when it's not attached to your car. So get that straight, right? When you put it on the car doesn't mean you can put more weight on the van, right? So it's the total weight, and that's a safety factor, right? And then we have GCM, which is the gross combined mass of your towing vehicle and your trailer. So, and your car will be rated for a maximum amount of kilos to achieve that. So get to know and understand those first. Mm-hmm. Now, our situation was, we were way over on the rear axle, 200 and something kilos.
45.
214, 245, 235, something like that, over what the car's rating of 1915 or 30 was. So in order for us to tow, we had to take all the touring gear out of the back of our car, unload everything that was in the front of the caravan, and then we'd just scrape in. So that's not having fun or having a holiday, is it?
Well, if you want to work before you go.
Towing your van around. So it's like, okay, what can we do about it? So we researched and researched and researched, and the only sensible instructions that I could have, sensible information, was from, where do we go? Green Trees.
Green Trees.
4x4. Now, we have no affiliation with anyone in this video. So we went out there, they were highly recommended. And when we spoke to them on the phone, right from the very first go, they knew exactly what we needed. And we got to find out later on, they've done thousands of these. Yep, thousands of GVM upgrades. And the one we chose was the premium pack from Lotus. So that's the 4.2 tonne GVM upgrade. Now that's the max they do for these kind of normal cars. It increased our rear axle rating from 1900 to like 2300, just over 2300, 2304 or something. So in other words, we could put our Caravan on, we could load up the car to the max, and we'd still have room to put a boat or something else on and be under those weight requirements. So we knew we could legally tow everything around. So that was a good result for us. What this also achieved for us, we have now a gross combined mass. That's the ability of the car, fully laden, and the Caravan up to its maximum, which is 3.5 tonne, right? 7.7 tonne. That's from 6.8 to 7.7. Now, that doesn't mean you can tow a bigger van, because the rating of the car, and make sure you know what your car rating is, this one is 3.5 tonne. So regardless of our GVM upgrade, we can't tow anything bigger than that 3.5 tonne. Where the real advantage is on the car. Yep, so we can load up that car all the way up to, what's that give you, 7.7, all the way up to 4.2.
Yep.
Right? Which is a great thing. And I'm not sure, but we can take a lot more of your shoes.
Well, I think we can.
We can get 200 kilos of shoes. That's like 10 suitcases going to the
I've
airport.
thrown out quite a bit.
Can you imagine that? We haven't got room for that. So I guess the takeout is, look, do your homework very carefully. Make sure you understand those terms and for your particular car. Don't let anyone tell you that's not a professional what to do. Okay, go and get them checked out. Go to a specialist 4x4 suspension mob, right? And stick something that's reputable, proven into your car, because that's what we did, choice really. There's 2 or 3 people out there that do these types of things. Lots of people that just do a normal GVM upgrade. But, and let me tell you, it did cost about $8,000. Now, included in that was the premium range of suspension. That's the struts, the springs, the spacers for the airbags. Also, the top control arms and a couple of other suspension things. So we're quite happy really when you think about it.
Oh, and you got yourself a present too.
And I did? What?
You bought yourself a winch.
Oh yeah, that wasn't in that price though.
No,
I paid
I know
extra
that.
for that.
Yeah, I know. You got yourself a present.
Yeah, I know, I couldn't help myself. And we needed to have one, just in case I had to drag all your things with me or something. And importantly, the price of the engineer's certificate. So these things have got to be engineered, they've got to be rated, they've got to be approved, right? Lovells is a federally approved activity. So once your car's registered and you get this approval, you can drive anywhere. Now, some people will argue that maybe not in this state, in this state, in this state. All I can say is that that's news to me and news to everyone else that I've spoken to. We have a registered vehicle, you can drive it on any road in Australia, and we have a federally approved upgrade. And they do a fancy thing now, don't they? They put a little, what are they? Scan gauge?
Yeah,
No.
QR code.
QR code. They put a little QR code on the windscreen. So if you ever get pulled over, the police can just scan that and it goes straight to your vehicle. So with this GVM upgrade, we get a lift as well, don't we?
Yep.
Yep. Carry your papers around that you've got this GVM approval in your glove box. Is that what you're just saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Because you never know, maybe the QR code doesn't work. You might run into some official that's a bit officious.
Oh, they don't have Starlink where you are.
If they've got all the details there, that's fine. But we're quite happy with this upgrade. I don't think we could have got anywhere less than this.
No.
Yeah. And you have to pay the price, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're interested in scrimping and scraping, just save up another few months, mate, before you get it, because I think you do need the real deal.
So what's it done for your car though? So what's the ride like now?
What I can tell you is you can feel straight away that this is a solid suspension upgrade. Firm on the road, really direct, well balanced. You can tell that as soon as you hook your rig up to this car and you reload it, it's going to be a nice thing to drive.
Well, the ride's changed in my opinion.
When you're towing, excellent. When you're not towing, it's quite hard. because
Yeah.
we've set this up. This is a touring car, and it also has to tow either a caravan or a boat, right? And we want to load things onto the roof, particularly a little tinny or something like that. So when it's loaded under some pressure, it's fine. When it's not loaded, it is, and it's set on the lowest setting for soft, it's still quite hard. So
Not quite hard, it's just hard. It's just different. It's taken it from I suppose, a town car to a bit more of a truck. That's what I'd say. It's more
you
of a truck
definitely
ride.
notice the difference. So comfort levels, not so much.
No.
Comfort levels when you're towing, fantastic.
Yeah, you don't notice it when you're towing.
It just sticks on the road. You still have that full articulation, which you would have seen in the beginning of this video. When you're going down, you're on holes and you're four-wheel driving, it's still quite flexible, moves around. There's no issues there. So that about wraps it up. That's our GVM upgrade story. And we're going to go out and we're going to get this car and van weighed again sometime in the new year. Well, it is the new year, but
Well, we have to get everything to align. The scheduling's
sometime
a bit hard.
soon. So we'll get all that, absolutely stack it full of stuff, and we'll see where we're at and what we can do. But most importantly, that rear axle, not many people talk about it. And when you put the caravan on or whatever you're towing on, it sort of compounds the effect of that weight. So you put that lever action on, depends how long your drawbar is, and that could actually increase the weight on your rear axle by 1.5 times what you think it is. So how you distribute the weight on your car, how big your spare tyre is, where it's at, whether you've got a big rear bar on, whether you've got a lot of weight on the front, so be very careful. Lots of people just say, oh, we'll get a GVM upgrade. No one talks about the rear axle. Most people are going to be over still anyway.
Well, we had that experience when we were looking whether to do this or buy another car.
Yeah.
And we went to the local Ram dealer who couldn't even tell us what the rear axles were on any of their models.
And just be careful.
That was really interesting.
If you're buying one of those entry-level American trucks, just get your facts straight, and particularly that rear axle and what it can do, because you'll find in no time you'll be doing a GVM upgrade on those things as well.
Yeah, especially the entry-level ones.
Anyway, go and check it out. Get your details correct. Talk to people that know what they're talking about. Okay, well, we'll see you next time.